The biggest changes to Social Security and disability benefits are coming in 2026. President Trump has a plan to fix Social Security, and he's pushing Congress to pass the legislation. Now, if you are on Social Security or disability benefits, or you are getting ready to apply for benefits, you are going to be affected. Now, you may be thinking, why are they touching Social Security? Well, there are two things that seniors want to see happen that is driving the president into action. The first one is Social Security increase. Half of seniors did not see a Social Security increase in 2025 through the big, beautiful bill. And those seniors have been making a lot of noise and want to see action from the president. The second thing, which is a bigger issue, is the Social Security Trust Fund. You may have heard that that is going bankrupt. And now, if nothing is done, seniors are going to see a cut in the future. So there's five proposals that have been put in front of the president to try to fix Social Security in the long term. The problem is that those five things are hard decisions that are going to affect current beneficiaries of Social Security and future beneficiaries. So, I am here to bring you all the details and, most importantly, what you need to do to prepare for these radical changes that are about to happen to Social Security in 2026. My name is Kwame Kwade. I am a government benefits expert. For 15 years, I've been helping seniors get the retirement benefits they deserve. I create content on Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps, and other personal finance issues that affect seniors both in and out of Congress. If you are new here, welcome. I am really glad you're here. Do me a favor, go into the comment section and let me know your city and your state, because I like to know where you're watching my broadcast from. And if you've been watching this channel for a while, welcome back. I am really glad you are here. So we have a lot to cover today, and I want to make sure that I go through it systematically so that you have the information you need to be able to take action. So let's start with Social Security increase. So if you remember, the big, beautiful bill was passed a few months ago, and it was supposed to be the signature bill that provided seniors with the biggest relief. And the president, remember, when he was campaigning, promised no tax on Social Security. And that was supposed to be the signature legislation that fixed everything when it comes to seniors. But here's the thing, that did not do all of that. There were seniors that were left behind and were not included in the big, beautiful bill. And so, what is happening is that those seniors who were struggling and really needed the help and felt like they were left behind and were not included in this legislation have been making a lot of noise, and rightly so. And so now there is new effort to try to pass another bill to try to bring relief to those seniors. But let me say and explain why a lot of seniors felt left out of the big, beautiful bill. So I'm sharing my screen right now. Let me make sure that you can see that. Okay, good. And I am going to go to a particular section of this post that clarifies why a lot of seniors feel left behind. So here it is. So the big, beautiful bill was supposed to relieve seniors from Social Security, the burden of Social Security taxes. And so the idea is that if you stop taxing Social Security, then a lot of seniors who face Social Security taxes were going to get relief, and that money is going to come back to their pocket. Well, number one, it did not do all of that. Still there are some seniors that are going to continue to pay taxes on Social Security, but that's another topic for another day. The point I want to make is that why were some seniors left behind, and the reason why we need a new bill to increase Social Security benefits. Well, here's the table. The big, beautiful bill was based on tax deduction. And to claim tax deduction, you have to have taxable income. So if you're a single person, to be able to benefit from the big, beautiful bill, you have to make $23,750 in combined income. If you don't make that, and a lot of seniors who make less than, $1,300, I mean, some seniors make, less than $20,000 in Social Security benefits. Some are making 1,000, 1,200, 1,300, 1,400. So even if you're making $1,500 in Social Security benefits, that's $18,000. And so that is where the problem is. So a lot of seniors were left out of the bill because they don't make enough money to be able to even claim the benefits that were in the bill. If you are married, you have to make $46,700 together in combined income in order to be able to take advantage of the big beautiful bill. So that is why there's been a push by seniors for social security increase. And so the question is, where is that increase going to come from? And what are the bills that are out there that have a realistic chance of passing to put real money in your pocket? Well, there are two legislations that I want to point out. The first one is a $600 $600 tax relief that Senator Hawley from Missouri proposed, and this one is going to be like the stimulus that you got during the pandemic. And so let me share what that looks like. That's the first one, and I have two more. So stay with me. So Senator Hawley of Missouri, um, took action on something the president said. President Trump said because there's so much tariff money coming in, he is going to support a $600 rebate check, similar to what you got in the pandemic, that goes to everybody, you know, including children. And so here is what Senator Hawley released back in July, and now it's been turned into a legislation. It says today, U.S. Senator Josh Hawley introduced the American Worker Rebate Act legislation that would send rebate checks to working Americans following the historic revenue accrued through President Trump's tax policy. Now, the United States has now record monthly tariff, which nearly reached $330 billion in June. Several projections suggest that the United States could see $150 billion in tariff revenue. So, how would this $600 work? Well, it will provide a big check similar to what was distributed during the pandemic in 2020 to workers and families, including seniors. You're going to get $600 per adult. And so a family of four will get about $2,400. And there's actually a bill. There's actually a bill in Congress that is supposed to be voted on to make this happen. So I am going to show you that bill so that, because I want to bring you receipts. I want you to see that this is not a pie in the sky dream. This is actually something that is a legislation that has been filed in the 119th Congress. So this is the bill. And at the top of it, it says to amend the Internal Revenue Code of 1986 to provide rebates to individuals using tariff proceeds. And it was filed in the Senate by Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri. So that is the first thing, legislation that is supposed to help put money in the pockets of seniors. But $600 is a one-time thing. So what about a permanent increase? That's what I want to talk to you about. So there is another legislation which, if you've been watching my channel, I have been talking about because I have been pushing people to call their congressmen, call their senators, so that we can get more people to support this bill, because I think this is the legislation that is going to make the most dramatic change and increase in the lives of low-income seniors who have been waiting for help for quite a long time. So in this bill called the Social Security Expansion Act, and this is also a legislation that is actually in Congress. It is actually in the House, and there's a version of it in the Senate. So this bill is already out there in the 119th Congress, bipartisan support, and here's what it's going to do in two areas. One, it is going to give seniors who are making less than $1,300 in Social Security benefits an additional $660 increase. Why is that, and where do I see that? Well, it is written in plain language, which I can share with you right now. In this summary of the Social Security Expansion Act, it says that it is going to increase the special minimum benefit and peg it to 125% of the federal poverty level. What does that mean? It means that they want to lift seniors who are receiving Social Security but barely getting any money out of poverty. And the way to do that is to peg or tie your Social Security benefits to the federal poverty level numbers. And so they're going to put it at 125% of the federal poverty level, so that every year you know that when the government releases their federal poverty level information, your Social Security benefit is going to be 125% of that if you are receiving the minimum benefit. And so there are millions of seniors that fall into this category. And so that becomes a $660 raise right away. So that's a big deal. And if you don't know what the federal poverty level numbers are, I can share with you what they are for 2025 so that you can get an idea of what kind of increase you are looking at. So in 2025, the chart that the government released for the federal poverty level is what you see in front of me for the lower 48 states. 100% of federal poverty numbers is anybody making 15,000 or less. 125% where the government wants to put people who are getting the minimum Social Security benefit is going to be 19,562. But remember, this is going to increase every year because the federal poverty guidelines are adjusted every year for inflation. And so by doing that, it ensures that seniors who are living in poverty are lifted out of poverty. The second thing, which is about inflation. Inflation has eaten into the Social Security benefits of seniors, and a lot of seniors feel like they cannot get ahead. Well, this legislation is going to also increase your benefit by $200. Social Security and disability across the board, $200 for everybody. And it says it right there. I am not making this up. It's the summary of the legislation. It says Social Security benefits across the board for current and new beneficiaries under the bill. Social Security benefit for current and existing recipients will be increased by $2,400 a year. So $2,400 a year divided by 12 is $200 increase a month. So potentially, there are some people who will get about $880 increase, or at least $800 increase because of this bill, permanent increase, because this bill is going to lift a lot of people out of poverty. So that is the first thing I wanted to share with you, is the good news about Social Security increase. The next thing I want to talk to you about is regarding Social Security cost of living adjustment. So we are in September. We're about to enter October. October the 15th, the government is going to release your Social Security cost of living increase. Well, here's the good news. Social Security is going to go up. It's going to go up by $50 on average because, according to expert analysis, you are likely going to get a 2.7% increase in your Social Security benefits. And this is according to the Senior Citizens League, which is a reputable organization that a lot of media houses trust to forecast Social Security cost of living adjustment. And based on the numbers that they are seeing, they are telling us that they predict a slight increase in your Social Security benefit from the current 2.5% adjustment you got in 2025 to 2.7% in 2026, which translates to an average of $50 in your increase. But here's the problem. Here's a big problem with that. While you're getting a 2.7% increase in your Social Security benefits, there is something else that is also taking your money away. And that is the Medicare Part B premium. So let me share with you what's happening with Medicare Part B. This year, 2025, Medicare Part B premiums went up by 5.9%, and everybody thought that was outrageous. Well, now it's probably going to go up by 12.6%. And this is a September the 9th article from the AARP, from what they are hearing. And you can see somebody here in the picture with their hands to their head in shock, because this is a problem. Medicare Part B premiums is going to be eaten into the little Social Security benefits that seniors are getting, and it's expected to top $200, excuse me, $200 in 2026. And so what does that mean? It means that your $50 increase in Social Security benefits is now going to be reduced to maybe $25 because your Medicare Part B premium is going to go up. So here is where it says this year Part B enrollees pay a standard monthly premium of $185, the exact amount the trustees estimated last year. That's up $10, nearly 5.9% increase. So in 2026, but next year, the Part B premium is expected to jump by 11.6% to $21.50 to $206. That is according to the trustees. This will raise the Part B premium by 12%. So that is a problem. That is a problem. Healthcare costs has been crushing seniors. And I think that there is so much in there that I want to address. Look at it right here. Will Part B premium exceed 200 in 2026? Yes, it will. So look at how much healthcare costs have been going up with Medicare Part B premiums. It is so crazy that seniors are being squeezed every single month. Meanwhile, your Social Security benefit is going up by barely anything, you know. So I want to make sure that I'll bring this back up. That's why I'm trying to save it, so that I can cover it later. But it is outrageous what's happening, because look at the increase every single year. Your Medicare Part B premium is going up every single year, and by double digits in some cases, like it's going to do next year. So that is the news on Social Security increase. The next thing the president wants to do is fix Social Security for the long term, and there are two proposals in there that are looking promising. Let me explain both of them. The first one is this idea, this wild idea that has been proposed in the Senate to create a fund and require the government to put $1.5 trillion in it to save Social Security. And I'm going to explain this in plain language. So the idea is that for the next 5 years, the government is going to put $300 billion in a fund. And for 5 years, that would amount to $1.5 trillion. And then the government is going to invest that money in various ways on the stock market and other assets, and then it's going to be left alone to grow on its own for about 70 years. So the money is not going to be touched. It's going to be left to grow for about 70 years. And then during that time, in the next 6 years, the Social Security Trust Fund, which is a rainy day fund, is going to run out of money. And when it does, seniors are supposed to get a cut in their benefits. Whether you're applying now or you're currently receiving benefits, everybody's going to see about a 20 to a 25% decrease, because Social Security can only pay money from what it is receiving in payroll taxes, and it's not going to be receiving enough to be able to cover everybody 100%. But because of this money that the government has set aside and has invested and is going to grow over 70 years, now the government is allowed to borrow money to make Social Security recipients whole, because there is this money that is sitting there and they can use that money to pay what they've borrowed. It's a convoluted math, but that is what they are proposing to fix Social Security. Another legislation that is trying to fix Social Security, and it is trying to do two things, is this legislation by Senator Gallego of Arizona. And what he wants to do is he wants to introduce a legislation that will eliminate Social Security taxes, but also eliminate the earnings test. So here is I want to make sure that you can see that on my screen. So he's going to eliminate taxes on Social Security. And you're probably thinking, didn't President Trump do that? Well, as I said earlier, the big beautiful bill did not eliminate taxes on Social Security completely. It was just a band-aid that was going to expire in 3 years. This is supposed to do it permanently. So this is another way that seniors are going to get an increase, and it also solves one big problem that Social Security has had, which is not enough money is coming into the Social Security Trust Fund to pay retirees into the future. And so what the senator wants to do is that he wants to subject all income to Social Security taxes. And by doing that, it is going to provide real relief to Social Security beneficiaries. And so that is another legislation that is out there that has bipartisan support that I think has a very high chance of passing in 2026. And then the last thing I want to talk to you about is challenges that the Social Security Administration is facing that's going to affect your benefits and how your benefits are delivered, especially disability beneficiaries. And here is some, news that came out recently about the challenges that Social Security disability beneficiaries have been facing. This is from Axios. It says Trump's Social Security shakeup is hurting the disabled and the poor, advocates say. So if you're on disability benefits, you're probably experiencing a lot of disruptions to your benefits because now they are asking you to provide all these documents. Your benefits are being threatened. And a lot of disability beneficiaries, based on the Big Beautiful Bill, may be kicked out of the program because they no longer qualify as disabled based on the new definition that the Trump administration is pushing through. On top of that, the Social Security Administration is experiencing issues with serving seniors. And so, this morning, today, September the 25th, the New York Times came out with an article that I just saw this morning and I wanted to include in this post because I think you need to see it. This is today, 11:41 a.m. And here is what it has to say. A diminished Social Security workforce and its customers feel the strain. Seniors are the customers and they are feeling the strain because the Social Security Administration is stretched so thin that they are not able to support you efficiently. When you call, you're going to be on hold for a long time. When you send them letters, it takes a while for them to respond. It's hard to get an appointment at offices. It takes a while before they can even get you in to make an appointment to see somebody in person. So 2026, all of these are going to get worse because a lot of people are being laid off for a Social Security Administration that is processing record number of people claiming benefits. More people are claiming Social Security and disability benefits than ever. Meanwhile, the Social Security Administration workforce is at a 40-year low and more people are getting fired. And so you can see how that becomes a problem. And that is where we are right now. So I wanted to make sure that I cover these things with you, and I have two more things, so stay with me here. So the first one I want to share with you is that we're entering Medicare enrollment season, and I am on a mission that I want to share with you. So I have shared this a couple of times. I am on a mission to help 100,000 seniors get peace of mind about Medicare. I think that a lot of seniors are stressed about Medicare, especially when we're entering this open enrollment season because it's confusing. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There's 24,000 Medicare plans out there, and seniors do not know what to do because there's so much to cover. You have to prioritize your coverage, your budget, networks that you need to be in, prescription drugs, and things that Medicare does not cover that you need covered, you know, um, vision, dental, hearing, and then prescription. And then you have to figure out your doctor network, hospitals that you need to be in. All these things need to be factored into a Medicare plan that you pick. And so my job is to educate you around Medicare like I'm doing today, create and share with you resources and guides that you can use that are quick to digest, that helps you understand the program better. And then I want to connect you with the best Medicare resources and support. And why? Because of the confusion around Medicare, 90% of all seniors are in the wrong Medicare plan, and I want to help fix that. And so we have partnered with Chapter Medicare because the headlines keeps getting worse and worse. Every time you go on the news, there are scary headlines about plans being dropped, seniors being dropped, hospitals being dropped, doctors' networks being dropped. It just feels like Medicare is become very unstable. And so We want to get you with a Medicare advisory company that has your interest at heart, is in your corner, and is not trying to sell you anything. And that is why we picked Chapter. And we've sent over 2,000 of our viewers to Chapter, and the response have been overwhelmingly great. And that's why we're confident to continue to push Chapter, because we know they can be in your corner and help you figure this Medicare thing out and get that peace of mind that I'm talking about. Why do you need peace of mind about Medicare? Because there is nothing worse than needing care and realizing that you don't have the right coverage. And the government is not going to pick the best plan for you. The government is not in the business of doing that. Even though you've earned Medicare, you've paid into it, and you deserve it, they're not going to just put you in the best plan out of the generosity of their heart. They want you to do that. And that's where Chapter comes in. They can guide you. So call 539-205-2147 or go to askchapter.org/insider. You can go to the description to this video or in the comments. I'm going to pin something to the comments, and it's going to have the link. You can just fill out the form. It's a very quick form. It takes less than a minute. And then they'll call you and help you navigate this maze, this Medicare maze that has caused a lot of seniors to get into Medicare plans that does not really help them with the coverage that they need. Chapter is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. These are the people you're going to be talking to when you call them. And there's tons of 5-star reviews that we've been sharing with you if you've been watching our channel, for you to see that people are actually getting great service. And if you've been bombarded with Medicare salespeople who are trying to push specific plan, that is not the experience you're going to have with Chapter. They're going to show you everything you're eligible for and then help you make the decision that is best for you. And did I mention they can save you $1,100 a year? If you feel the inflation in this country right now, saving $1,100 a year on Medicare is a big deal. So give them a call today. You would not be disappointed. And then lastly, so we launched a membership community recently, and I'm excited to share with you that it's been actually, overwhelmingly, what we've been seeing is that seniors are really excited to be part of this community. And this is something that we've been hearing feedback about, so we decided to go ahead and do it. So what is this membership community about? Well, basically, it is to help seniors who are age 55 plus, who wants to get the best out of their retirement, get every dollar, every discount, every perk that you deserve in retirement, and be a part of a community of seniors who want the same thing. And so what do you get with this, being part of this program or this community? Well, here's the deal. So the first thing is that being part of this community helps you stop missing out on retirement benefits and perks that you deserve. And it's going to minimize your stress and help you maximize your retirement, because our goal is to help you get what you deserve. So we are going to help you unlock every dollar, every discount, every advantage from Medicare, Social Security, Medicaid, and more. And there are 5 different things that come with this membership. One, you get exclusive videos on maximizing Social Security and Medicare, monthly money saving tips and senior discounts, step-by-step guides. We create a ton of guide that we put up for sale. If you go to our YouTube store, you will see at the top in our YouTube store, we have a lot of great guides that seniors have been buying and getting a lot of value out of. If you're part of this school community, you get all our guides, the ones we've already released and any future guide, for free. And then we have Q&A, live Q&A, and I'll show you how people are already getting answers to their questions. Every week I post videos answering people's questions directly, and those videos are only available in this community. You can ask me any question about anything retirement related, benefits related, personal finance related. I'll do the research like I've done in this example where somebody asked me a specific question. I did the research and answered her directly, customized to what she's asking about. So that's the kind of thing you're going to get here. And, there's breaking news sometimes. And rather than wait, I can record a quick video like I did here with Social Security cost of living adjustment. and then posted it in the community. And you can see people are already responding to it at the bottom with the comments. And so being part of this community just helps you stay informed so that you have the information you need to maximize your retirement. And I mentioned before, there are guides that we're offering. We have about close to 15 guides that are in there right now that you can get instant access to. And if you're probably thinking, are these guides really that good? Well, here are examples of the guides you're going to get if you sign up today. First one, 10 proven ways seniors can make an extra $500 to $1,000 a month. This is a comprehensive guide that seniors who have been looking for a side gig, in this hyperinflation environment, people want to, do extra work, part-time work, but are struggling to find, or where should you look? Well, this guide is going to tell you where to look and where to apply. Another one, Social Security and Medicare changes for 2025. Well, we are going to release a new one for 2026 shortly. That is going to give you a head start on what to expect in 2026. A senior guide to saving. So AI is one of the things that a lot of people want to, play with. Everywhere you go, somebody's talking about AI. But some seniors are interested, they're curious, but don't know where to start. Well, this guide is going to walk you through that. So what else is there? Well, there's more. Secrets to boosting your Social Security benefits. How to maximize your Social Security benefit 2025 edition. We're also going to release the 2026 edition soon. Senior Banking Resource Guide. This is a comprehensive guide on banking perks and discounts and resources that a lot of seniors are leaving behind on the table because they're just not aware of it. And we customize this by region so that your local area, what are the banking resources and help that you can get? This guide will point you in that right direction. And the big beautiful bill, a lot of seniors do not understand how the big beautiful bill relates to them. This guide will explain everything you need to know about that legislation. We have the best senior discount guide out there. So if you have been shopping, going to restaurants, traveling, and you want to know what perks are out there for you, this guide will point you in the right direction, and so forth and so on. We also have templates. If you want to do, pay off your debt, we have a template that can help you get that done. If you are spending money and you don't know where all your money is going, for 15 minutes, just spending 15 minutes, you can use this guide. It's called the Spending Leak Finder, and it will guide you to be able to do that. There's a budget template for retirees. We also encourage seniors to save $10 a week. Why is that important? Because if you just do that a year, you have $520. That can be your Christmas budget, or it's money you can use to buy people Christmas gifts. But how do you find $10 from your budget? Well, this guide would walk you through that. So these are some of the things that you're going to get, and this is the community. This is how the community looks like. This is, we have we did a 30-day walking challenge recently. There is a recipe swap page. There's stuff on Social Security, Medicare, travel and adventure pictures, and so forth. So, I mean, this is really happening, and you can see there's a lot of people engaging in the comments and connecting with each other. So, how can you be a part of this community? Well, you can go to school.com/benefits insider, or you can go into the description to this video or in the comments. I'm going to pin it into the comments, and you can sign up there. You can check it out and see if it's for you. But as I've said, we already have over 160 people that have signed up already and growing, and they're getting the benefits that I've described. So hoping to see you there. So if you like what you heard today, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on another video tomorrow.